Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dynasty's Racing League's DRL TV. And oh my lord, we have got 10 minutes of qualifying. I did not realize it was going to be that long, Rod. How you doing tonight?
Well, we need extra time to turn right and left at this track, so,
You got me, Rod?
You not hear me?
I see you lighting up, but now I can't hear you. What in the world is going on with our communication here tonight? Alright, try it again. I think I accidentally muted you.
Got me now?
Yep.
Copy.
Yep, it was on my end. I accidentally hit my mute button on my headset. Well, just in case you're wondering, that's the voice of Rod Faustino, ladies and gentlemen, joining me in the booth tonight.
Yeah, I was saying, we need extra time since we're turning left and right, tonight.
Well, a lot of these guys are going to be turning left and right at the same time. Well, we are here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in Lexington, Ohio. Here on a Monday, June 1st. Looks like it's clear weather, 78 degrees, 1% humidity, 2-mile-an-hour north winds, it says. Let's see if it's actually going to be right. It says 3-mile-an-hour now, but the track temperature is a nice, comfortable 105 degrees out there, so not too bad on the track. We are currently riding along with Richard Lucky, who is my pick here for tonight. Who are you picking tonight, Rod?
Well, I kind of like J.W. Miller. Whetstone, not a new guy to the league, but a new guy back in the league has been awfully fast. So I think either J.W. Miller or Whetstone.
You mean Whetstein?
Whetstein, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Zach.
Yeah. I used to have a friend of mine named Whetstone, so... But anyway, Whetstein is doing pretty good. He was actually third in practice, and he said he wasn't really comfortable in this car, believe it or not. And he did not get much practice time in due to him delivering, well, we won't go there. Anyway, he had a job where he has to deliver stuff, and he was afraid that he wasn't going to be able to get here this evening to race, much less get any practice in, which, from what I understand. So, did speak with him earlier this afternoon. But another driver we're going to have to look out for, you know who that is, right?
Mr. Lucky?
Well, no. He's going to be in a 24 car if he ever gets back in the server.
Oh, Mr. Wolf.
Mr. Wolf. He was second fastest in practice, if I'm not mistaken. And Richard Lucky's doing a really good job getting around this track. He should be completing his first lap right now. J.W. Miller is currently sitting on the pole. Richard Lucky just took it away. So, hey, your pick's second, mine's first. As of right now, but I'm worried about Eric Wolf. I still don't see him lit up. And he may not be able to make it into this race. I'm not sure if he was having a connection issue or not earlier. I noticed he did a couple of laps here in practice and then just stopped. So, and it looks like Taylor Butcher Benjamin is experiencing some blinking along with Brett Kingcock as well. So,
yeah, at a minute and a half a lap here, there's no time to run your out lap and 2 qualifying laps in under 5. Well, I mean, there's just barely enough time to do it in under 5 minutes.
right, I understand that. Sometimes JP will put it on there to where you everybody's on the track at the same time for our road course qualifying, but that kind of could possibly ruin somebody's race who actually had a fast car. If you get out there and wreck them during qualifying. So Chris James, not too bad here tonight, doing really good. Zach Whetstein drops to 5th as of right now. Let's see if he can't pick that up. Not sure why he's sitting on the end of pit road, but okay. Taylor Butcher Benjamin, how about old TBB? Currently running around in the 9th position for qualifying. Eric Wolf has made it back into the server, and he is actually moving on the track. So let's ride along with Mr. Wolf. We'll ride along with him, and when get here to the start finish line, we'll jump into cockpit view here, ladies and gentlemen, and let y'all see what it looks like to go around mid-Ohio. There is, what, 17 turns here tonight? Is that right?
13.
13. And don't expect us to call out which number they are. I'm not a big road course fan myself. I like running them in the Indy cars, but that's about it. Should be about 2 more turns here, and we should be entering across the start-finish line. And then
we got a left here, and then he's going to make another right into what they call the carousel, which will feed into another left, and then we'll see the start-finish line.
A lot of people's having some trouble with this right here. Coming back through this right here.
Well, the fun thing about Mid-Ohio is there are several off-camber and counterweight type turns where, you know, the balance of the car is very, very touchy, and you need to be off the gas because you start shifting that weight and you'll lose it.
Well, Eric Wolf is coming now into the second turn and doing really good.
Yeah, that's an example right there. At turn 2, they call it the keyhole, and it's off camber like you wouldn't believe. It pushes you out like nobody's business.
These guys are going to be constantly shifting these gears here tonight. A lot of this races probably won't even be ran in 4th gear. There will be only a little couple spots where they could actually wind it out into 4th gear. But the biggest problem we're going to have is that famous extra downshift. Somebody hitting that gear and coming down too far, looping the car around, or even possibly blowing a motor. We actually had Eric Wolf blow a motor, I believe it was, here last year. Or I know he blew the motor downshifting one time in a road course. I'm really not sure if it was this track or if it was actually Watkins Glen. And he's actually experiencing some technical difficulties.
Connection issues.
And that is 1 lap here, ladies and gentlemen, inside the car of Eric Wolf, who jumps
Good
up
lap.
into third place. So way to go, Eric.
I'm going to say the scary thing for all these drivers is, Richard Lucky's qualifying time is 3/4 of a second faster than the second place qualifying time.
So we won't be seeing much of Richard Lucky here tonight, that's for sure. Because him and his brother last year, I know for a fact, they dominated this race. Both Richard and, what's his brother's name again? Chris Lucky? Both of those, yeah, they dominated just about last year. Now, in that battle of last year was Eric Wolf. And like I said, I believe Eric Wolf accidentally downshifted and blew his gears, blew his engine. And I don't think he's going to actually have enough time to get this lap in. He's got 51 seconds to make it around to try to pick up.
Yeah, he's going to make it.
He's going to be cutting it close if he didn't just hit the grass right there and lose the lap time. And see, you cannot run off the grass and you can't make any contact. No incidents for a lap. You have to be able to get around here clean for that lap to count. He just is going to cross the start-finish line.
And he moves
him in a second. Way to go, Eric. So he shortens that distance on that gap by about 4/10 of a difference between Eric and Richard. So with that being said, see if we can't grab Richard Lucky real quick. If he's even in a chat room. Oh yeah, I know where he's at. He's in spotter 1. Mr. Lucky, you got a copy, my man.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, not a bad job here tonight. You're starting on the pole. You were really fast last year, you and your brother both. Thoughts and concerns going into this race, my man?
Eric Wolf was really fast in practice too, and he qualified second. So as long as we can just stay out front here for about the first 3 or 4 laps, get a little gap, I think we should be okay.
Now, you and your brother pretty much dominated this race last year, did you not?
We didn't run this race last year, but we were pretty good at Sonoma last year.
That's
We
what it
ran
was.
1-2.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let you go now, and we will look forward to talking to you after this race, which I'm pretty sure if you don't wreck, we will. How's that?
Good, thank you.
All right, put you back in spotter 1, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty, Rod. These cars are getting ready to move. I see a couple of new paint jobs out here. It looks like 82's changed his colors up a little bit. That's Chris James. Oh, wow. Green flag's out. No warm-up lap. I was not expecting that. How about you?
Yeah, they start pretty close to the start-finish line here.
I was expecting a warm-up lap. But, hey, looks like that 99 decided to put some paint on his car.
Yeah, he was painted up last week, too.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, my trading paint still showed him in a black car last week. So, Eric Wolf wastes no time to make the move to get around Richard Lucky. So, Richard Lucky is not going to plan as what he wanted, but Eric is pulling away, as a matter of fact. So far,
Yeah,
so good.
This track has a lot of passing opportunities, though, so, you know, Lucky's truly as fast as his qualifying time and doesn't press here. He'll catch him and get by him.
Well, I would can't run through the starting order as it's already changed, but we'll go through who's in the race right now and all the way to where they're running. So Eric Wolf is currently running first. Richard Lucky is second. J.W. Miller is third. Chris James fourth. Mike Springer fifth. Mike Lemon sixth. Brent Kingcock seventh. Steven Sims is 8th. Zach Wetstein is 9th. Patrick Calgill is 10th. Taylor Butcher Benjamin 11th. David Wright 12th. Matt Burgess 13th. Dustin Musial 14th. James Pandolf 15th. And Jordan Berry is 16th. That is our drivers, and they're pretty much, I think that's pretty much where they all started, with the exception of the lead, Eric Wolf and Richard Lucky switching positions right out the gate. And you're going to have to keep an eye out for me for wrecks, my man.
A lot of track to cover here.
Yes, it is, and we will not be able to see everything that goes on. Jump back here on Patrick Calgill, see what's going on back here further in the pack. Looks like everybody's trying to give each other some room. It's pretty much follow the leader. And it is kind of hard to pass here, believe it or not. Oh, did you see Eric Wolf get loose there?
Yep, his rear end just stepped out a bit. That's one of the things I was talking about with the off camber and the acceleration points at this track. You have to really be careful.
Well, he was definitely had that car, how does DW say it, Wreckersville? He had the hospital wobble going on. It looks like the top three have moved out. J.W. Miller's actually got damage to the front end of his car. I'm not sure where he got that from. Let's take a look and make sure I'm seeing that correctly.
He does quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't know where he would have got that from. Unless he ran into the back end of Chris James. Let's see if we can't see the back of Chris James's car.
He ran into the back of Lucky.
Oh, did he? Oh, no. Yeah, and Lucky's got a little bit of damage back there. But he's actually closed the gap here on Eric Wolf. So I'm hoping that maybe J.W. Miller's damage isn't that bad. Maybe he can get it fixed. There will be a pit stop, ladies and gentlemen. They cannot make it the full length of this race. They have to come in at about lap 35 or 34, if I'm not mistaken, depending upon how well you can save fuel here.
And we do not have full course cautions for the road courses here. So
Mike Springer to the inside of Chris James.
Local.
He does make that pass. And it looks like Mike Lemon was thinking about trying the outside of him. So move Mike Springer up one. And I'm going to continue to watch this battle right here because Mike Lemon is still trying everything he can to get around Chris James. Now, the secret... Well, let's see what's going on with Steven Sims back here. Got the 25 of Zach Wetstein trying to get around him. He was doing battle with Brett Kingcott. I don't know if Brett actually gained a position on him or not. I couldn't get back there in time to see it, but... There goes Wetstein. Oh! Steven Sims just loses it right there. Unfortunate for Mr. Sims there. As we were following him. He's going to get back on the gas. Too hard. And he just did avoid. He barely busted the wall there. But I believe he can get that thing straightened up and get back out there.
Yeah, that right there is probably one of the worst spots on the track where the car actually lifts up and the suspension uncompresses, and if you give it some gas, it's just going to take off.
Well, and the thing about that is, ladies and gentlemen, we do not run yellows here at our road courses, so that really puts Steven Sims in a desperate situation as he is currently running now 16th. And he is more than 35 seconds back off of the leader. And, yeah. Lucky makes the move to the inside of Wolf. Wolf got loose. Lucky makes the move and makes it pay off for him. Wow, that was a sleep. Eric Wolf's got his hands full. That car is loose just about every time he comes out of a turn. And he is now getting ready to be challenged by J.W. Miller. Back to this little S-chute coming across for the start-finish line. Richard Lucky does take over the lead and leads that lap. Looking at this little second pack we got here, it's Chris James, Mike Springer, Mike Lemon. Mike Lemon still not giving up on the inside and outside, looking under Chris James at both ends of the back of that race car, trying to figure out a way to get around him. Zach Wetstein really loose back here. I've seen him get loose several times following in behind Brett Kingcott. He was on his back door and then all of a sudden kind of got that hospital wobble going on and saves it, of course, though. Jump back here to David Wright, who actually won our IndyCar series last week, our Indy 250. And I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that I was supposed to have broadcasted that race, but unfortunately, I was at the hospital with my wife, and she had to have some elective surgery done, so I could not be here for that race. I'm sorry, but family comes first, racing second. Jump back here to our fearless leader. Still hanging on, still doing good. And it looks like Steven Sims has actually gained a couple positions. He is now back up into the 14th position and closing in on the back door of James Pandolf. And this is the back of the pack. Jordan Berry, where is Jordan Berry at? I mean, he is way back here. Come back up here to see what TBB is doing. He's riding along, just out for a nice Sunday drive here at Mid-Ohio. And old Patrick Cowgill, he's doing about the same.
Looking at Steven Sims, he may have gained a couple spots, but he lost about, I'm going to say 6 or 7 seconds off the lead. So the leaders are still catching him from behind.
Well, it says that he is 45.2 seconds back off of Richard Lucky, and he is actually gaining on the back end of James Pandolf. He is now less than a second from behind James Pandolf. So that's a big gap. Lucky has pulled away. Eric Wolf is back here now doing battle with J.W. Miller. I'm not sure if he's trying to conserve his tires or what. Maybe he's just trying to get the feel of the track a little bit better. As they both were fastest in practice, so yeah, I'm really not sure what's going on with Eric Wolf. I figured he would be doing a lot better here than he's doing right now. But my pick's leading the race. What do you think about that one?
It's like shooting ducks in a pond, fishing with dynamite. That was an easy pick.
Yeah, I know. But I had a pretty good track record last year and the year before that. I averaged about 97% of picking people that were going to win the race. So I'm pretty good at picking winners. I just wish I was that good at racing myself. And I just now noticed that I don't have a logo going. As soon as I can figure out where my mouse is at. Hey, there we go. Let's get that Grand National Series logo up. See if we can't get back here with the Chris James battle going on. Looks like that battle is now over with. Mike Lemon is dropped off the back end of Chris James, so looks like these cars are pretty much getting spread out here now. Zach Wedstein currently rolling up in the 8th position in that 25. And then you got to go way back to Patrick Cowgill, almost about 3 seconds back from this pack before you even get to the 9th place. And then you got David Wright and Taylor Butcher Benjamin. We got a pit stop coming in by Jordan Berry in the 31. Has he wrecked his car? He is exiting. I think he's. Let's see what's going on with him. He has run off the track. Don't know.
Yeah, taking it to the garage.
He just ran off the track. I guess he just doesn't feel comfortable here. And he's going to call it a night.
Oh, yeah, he was in the kitty litter, and, you know, it doesn't appear to be any damage. Like you said, I think he's probably just not comfortable and doesn't want to be in anybody's way.
Well, he's definitely going to get some points for running here tonight. It's going to help him out. Not all the Grand National drivers have showed up here, so he will most likely move up a little bit in the point series. Thomas Harmon is no longer here, so I'm not sure what's going on there. So that's going to actually, let's see if I actually got this updated right. If I got it updated right, I should be able to see. Thomas Harmon, 5 points out. Taylor Butcher Benjamin. Wow, Taylor Butcher Benjamin is running second in points. Wow.
Yeah, 2 through 5 are here tonight, but 1 and 6 are not. So, 2 through 5 and 7 are here tonight.
So Bill Edwards and Thomas Harmon are not here.
Neither is Ben Izinga or Josh Durham.
Okay. And Kevin Dick's not here. Sam Niederhelm, Matt Vanderkoy, and okay. Alrighty. So with Richard Lucky leading this race, he has definitely pulled away off the front end of Eric Wolf, and J.W. Miller just doesn't seem to be able. I think he's just hanging in there till he can get into the pit road. Now, do you run the maximum fuel length, or do you try to cut this race in half? What would you do? There's no yellow flags going to help you here tonight. So, if me, I think I would come in at lap 17. What do you think?
Yeah, I would cut it in half. I would cut it right in half, and that way your tires are equal for the whole. Not equal, but you've got the same tire wear first half to second half. So I'd cut the sucker in half and be able to gain on somebody that tried to run all the way to the end.
Well, I've already been confirmed that you cannot run 38 laps on fuel. So there's not going to.
I meant all the way into like a fuel run.
Right. Yeah, I understand. But I'm just saying there's not going to be no Eric Wolf gas saving mileage going on here tonight. There's just, if he pulls out 38 laps here tonight on a fuel run, I want to know what size hose he's running on his car for a fuel line.
Yeah, I just heard from Avril Lavigne's biggest fan, Mr. Harmon. His internet has been out since 11:45 and it hasn't come back yet.
I just see that. It just popped up as well. All right, well, Mr. Harmon, we appreciate you watching the broadcast. I'm pretty sure that's the only way you knew how I was talking about you. So we look forward to seeing you back here next week so you can retake over the points lead. Hint, hint, wink, wink. All right, let's see. Mike Lemon, where art thou? They have finally got around Mike Springer. And he got around Chris James, so missed all that when I was running my mouth and doing something else. See, that's kind of hard to keep up with what's going on. See, I'm trying to watch the interval differences between drivers when they start changing, like this one right here with David Wright. David Wright is actually closing in on Patrick Cowgill. He picked up 0.2 of a second right there, so don't think it will be long before Mr. Wright actually is able to take over the back end of Mr. Patrick Cowgill. Mike Springer is now looking pretty close to the back end of Mike Lemon. So he gains it and he loses it. But Mike Springer is coming again. He's not giving up on the back end of that 38 of Mike Lemon. Got some Mikey Mikes in this thing. Makes the move.
He couldn't get it here in the keyhole.
He's got the move. He made it. He's going to pull it off. Don't believe there's going to be too much of a crossover there. And I believe old Wetstein here, he is trying everything he can to get around Brett Kingcott. He's gained quite a bit on him in just a couple of, well, about a half a track. Steven Sims has fell back again. Not sure what's going on there. He was up with Musial and...
Yeah, Musial got around Sims and Pandolf.
I think Pandolf, he's so far back, I think he might have actually ran off the track. Matt Burgess just now blinked back in. I didn't even know he was in the race.
And Burgess is off course right now. So Burgess is going to drop back behind JP even.
Why is it showing him?
That might take till it cycles through.
What car number do you see Burgess in?
67.
Thank you. I can't see it on my board here. He's all whited out. Well, he just basically he just loses it. I don't think he makes actual hard contact.
No, I don't think he hit anything.
Well, he did hit the wall there, but I don't think he made hard contact with it. No, it doesn't have any damage, so he did a good job there. Richard Lucky still out front, ladies and gentlemen, as we complete lap 14 of this 38-lap race. He is actually getting ready to put a lap down on Matt Burgess.
Yeah, I think Matt Burgess is in danger of being lapped by Mr. Lucky.
Yeah, he's definitely in danger, that's for sure. Steven Sims got back around James Pandolf while all this was going on. And he is 1.5 seconds.
JP's off course.
Yeah, he just overdrove that turn there. We'll rewind it. He got nothing better to do. Oh, he's trying to get out of the way, I believe, of the leaders. He sees the leaders coming, to be honest with you, I believe. No, he just overdrove it. Wow. Oh, Richard Lucky does a really good job at not getting into JP there. Matt Burgess is still trying to hang on. Richard Lucky is not going to be long before he makes that move. There he goes. Puts Matt Burgess one lap down. See where we got another battle coming up at. Steven Sims has actually caught the back end of Dustin Musial. He's making the move now here in that little hairpin. In your carousel that you call it. I think that's going to be the favorite spot for drivers to make their passes. He makes
if you can get to the inside going into the carousel, you'll make the pass.
He made the pass, and now he is 15.3 seconds back off the back end of Taylor Butcher Benjamin. So Taylor Butcher Benjamin is in our 11th position. Let's see. Interval. Patrick Calgill. Patrick Calgill on the back end of David Wright. Looking to try to advance himself into that 9th position. He is actually gaining on him. And then he loses it. Steven Sims is not having a really good night here. I've seen him blink out a couple of times as well. Five-second lead we have with this gentleman right here, Richard Lucky, over top of Eric Wolf. And then we have J.W. Miller in this 36 car. He is currently 2.5 seconds back off of Eric Wolf. Our 4th place driver is, of course, the 38 of Mike Lemon. And Chris James rounds out our top 5.
Now I'm thinking if I'm a Mike Lemon or Burgess is probably a bit of a stretch, but if I'm a Mike Lemon or a W. Miller, I'm probably going to stay out as long as I can to try and get that lap-led bonus point. I'm going to wait till, I can get to be a lead lap car. Oh, looks like King Cut's off course.
Oh, no.
Since we're about probably 2 laps away from mid-race pit stops, possibly.
You said King Cot, did you not? Oh, you did.
Yeah,
And
King Cut's
I'm
off.
looking for. I was on Cowgill. All right, let's see what happens to Mr. King Cot here. James Fendoff spending an awful lot of time on pit road. Oh, he just loses it. Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
turn one. If you hit that curb, that
that's
pit road curb, that will throw you off balance. Something fierce.
well, that's exactly what he did. He hit that curb and lost it. He got up on it, and that car just got really loose on him. Jace Fendoff, I'm not sure what's going on with him. He's already had his service done. There's no damage to the car. So I'm not sure what's going on with him. Mike Lemon down pit road. This is a scheduled pit stop from our 5th place driver, who was currently running 5th at the time. So I would suspect that he's getting his halfway mark to try to gain as much as he can with fresher tires.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that call. I think I would have stayed out as long as I could to try and get that lead lap bonus points, because he's not going to be able to probably make it up unless everybody ahead of him. I don't know. I don't know if I like that call.
Well, Mike Lemon does have a win, does he not? Or no? No, he does not. That's right. Mike Lemon does not have a win. Mike Lemon is not even in the top 20. Yeah, he is. He's in 3rd. Wow, okay. So, yeah, I don't know if I agree with that call either.
I mean, it all comes down to how badly you want those bonus points for leading the lap. Some guys don't really care about it. Others, really do.
Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Patrick Cowgill, Eric Wolf comes in as well. So Richard Luckey's still hanging out, leading this race. J.W. Miller going to stay out with him. 9 seconds off the back end of our leader, Richard Luckey. So, I mean, wow. I don't know what to say about Richard Luckey. He was able to do what he said. He got out, and he was able to pull away. Eric Wolf was able to lead at least 3 laps that I know of. Chris James down pit road. Here comes Mike Springer. Oh, wow, Musel. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. Musel off track right in front of Lucky.
That could have been a bad situation for our race leader. Let's see what happens. He comes in. Looked like he just overdrove, or maybe was trying to actually let the leader go by. But in any course, Richard Luckey was now down pit road. And that's going to turn the lead over to this man here, J.W. Miller, who's actually going to stay out and get those bonus points for leading a lap. I don't know if he actually got credit for leading that lap, though. He's probably going to have to stay out one more lap just to make sure he gets credit for it. And wow, there is a battle here with Musel all in the way there. He had TWB, Taylor Butcher Benjamin there. Let's go back and we'll rewind this just a little bit, because I'm really not sure what's going on here. I know the leaders are coming up, but Taylor Butcher Benjamin is trying his best to get around Dustin Musel, trying to stay on the lead lap, it looks like. He gets to the outside of him. Musel just loses it again a little bit there.
Looks like he just off-roaded it a little bit on the inside of the carousel.
Yeah, I think he's trying to let people get by without being a hindrance. But wow, I mean, J.W. Miller looking to the back end to put Taylor Butcher Benjamin a lap down. All the drivers are still on the lead lap, if I'm not mistaken, with the exception of James Pandolf.
J.W. Miller just pulled into pit road, but he's going to cross the stripe in first and get that bonus point.
There you go. And Jordan Berry, who is now 13 laps down, has now he's left the server, so didn't like how it was going out there and decided to call it a night. Richard Lucky retakes the lead over, believe it or not. And Eric Wolf is 4 seconds off the back end of him. I think if my interval is correct. So Richard Lucky retakes the lead.
That's what I show as well.
Brent Kingcott's moved his way all the way up into fourth place by staying out. No. He has not stayed out. He's already been down pit road.
Yeah, he's there right now.
Okay. Yeah, all right, I see now. So Richard Lucky, Eric Wolf, J.W. Miller, Chris James, Zach Wetstein is our top 5. Mike Lemon, Mike Springer, Brent Kingcott, David Wright, and Patrick Cowgill rounds out our top 10. This race has really been interesting. And it looks like Richard Lucky is coming to re-put Matt Burgess put his lap back down again. Let's see, is there a race going on? Taylor Butcher Benjamin and Patrick Cowgill is about our closest battle we have going on right at this point. Not sure what.
Lemon and Wetstein are pretty close.
Yeah, I believe they are the closest battle, actually. So Mike Lemon looking to try to take back over that top 5 position from Zach Wetstein. Wetstein. And looks like Mike Lemon is now all over the back end of Wetstein.
Be interesting to see what happens when they catch up to Muse.
I believe Muse will probably do what he's been doing for these last couple of turns, is just shoot out of the way, maybe run off course a little bit.
I was hoping you weren't going to say almost wreck in front of him.
Well, I mean, you never know. I mean, if you try to get off the track or try to get out of the way, there it goes. Lemon around Wetstein. So Mike Lemon moves up.
That looked more like evasive maneuvers than actually a pass.
I think he actually let him go. It's what it looked like to me. He's like, okay, I don't like you riding that close to me. Still got a long way to go. I can still survive and with a nice finish here. Get off my butt. So we're still
right now, fourth place is a full 4 seconds behind the leader.
Yeah, Chris James is way out.
And it's fairly safe to say Richard Lucky's putting on a clinic tonight.
Actually, Chris James is 35.1 seconds back off of our leader. He's 21 seconds off of the back end of J.W. Miller. So our top three really hasn't changed here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Currently running in third is J.W. Miller, who is 9 seconds off the back end of Eric Wolf, and a total of 13.6 seconds off our leader. And then Eric Wolf is 4.8 seconds off our leader. And Richard Lucky dominating this race here, ladies and gentlemen. Out front, 24 laps in. We got 14 laps to go, if math is correct. It probably isn't.
You carry the one.
Well, I take 4
I
or
think that's
2.
right.
Yeah, okay. I can't stand doing math, especially simple math. Okay. J.W. Miller, I do like the way he's come about here this year. He's done really good this season. Actually stands a shot at coming home with a championship, maybe. Just going to have to do something with that Harmon fella. He makes the move to get around Burgess. Burgess lets him go. Doesn't want to be a hindrance. Nice move by Mr. Burgess just to get out of the way and let him go.
Yeah,
As out.
Wolf is a good race, but he lost half a second that lap.
He's got less than 13 laps to make it up in, so if he's able to make up 5 seconds, I would be surprised as our leader. He may be able to do it because our leader is getting ready to come into some heavy traffic. He is now getting ready to be on the back end of Steven Sims, who is still currently experiencing some technical difficulties. Oh, and did he just lose that?
Yeah, badly.
Oh, and he disappeared on me. Let's see if I can't rewind it a little bit and see what's going on. Yeah, he loses it bad here. He downshifted and wheel hopped on him.
Yeah, turn 4 ate him up.
Even with that little bit of damage on the back end of Mr. Lucky's car, he is doing a great job. He is now currently getting ready to put Taylor Butcher Benjamin, 10th place driver, a lap down as he closes in on him. And if I'm not mistaken, J.W. Miller is actually gaining on the back end of Eric Wolf. He may be subject to losing second place. And this battle in front of our leader is for position. Patrick Cowgill and Taylor Butcher Benjamin are actually still racing, and they're racing each other. So our leader has to be aware of that situation as well.
Yeah, that's certainly a situation where I don't want to pull over and let a leader by when I'm trying to chase down a guy in front of me. Not knowing exactly what that guy I'm trying to chase down is going to do as well. I'm not going to concede a spot knowing that he's going to fight tooth and nail for it.
I'm kind of mixed on that. I mean, what the driver does in front of me is his business. Taylor Butcher Benjamin does do the right thing and let the leader by. Now, if the guy I'm racing decides to fight the leader that way, then that just gives me that much of a chance to gain back on the back end of him after I let him go. Let the leader by anyway, if you understand what I'm saying. But if we both do the same thing, then we haven't really lost anything. If I do it and he fights him, then I have the chance to make that time back up. Because he's holding the leader up. You know what I'm saying? And I believe I lost your mic again.
No, correct. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Right now I can't seem to focus on anybody, so I'm trying to pick up somebody here.
Yeah, I'm still doing the same thing, looking at our intervals, but it looks like all the gaps are pretty much you know, within 1.5 seconds from each other now. I mean, the closest battle I got is Steven Sims against Taylor Butcher Benjamin, and that's 1.5 seconds. So that's why we're watching Mr. Lucky work through this traffic. He is now on the back end of Patrick Cowgill, looking to try to put Mr. Cowgill a lap down. And he makes a smooth move there to get around Cowgill on the outside. We're going to jump back here in this mess right here. Eric Wolf still holding at 5.5 seconds off the back end of Richard Lucky. He's got 10 laps to go to try to gain 5.5 seconds on our leader. I don't believe he's going to be able to do it. I mean, if he's going to do it, he needs to put the pedal to the metal now. And
Joe Springer taking it to the garage.
Oh no, what in the world is going on there? Springer was doing good earlier. I just now noticed he's back in the 14th position, so has he experienced a connection issue or something?
Well, that may have been what I was having problems with, because I had somebody that I was focusing on just disappeared, and I was having a hard time changing cars and changing cameras.
Well, I can't pick him up.
Springer when he flaked out.
Yeah, I can't pick him up for 5 laps there, so I'm really not sure. He may have experienced some technical difficulties there and was unable to finish out the race. As we see Richard Lucky get around David Wright, putting Mr. Wright, our 8th place driver, 1 lap down. At this rate, he may lap the whole field, with the exception of J.W. Miller and Eric Wolf, because Chris James is still.
I'm going to say that's a given. The question is, does he get the J.W. Miller and put him a lap down? I'm going to say probably not, but.
No, but he has a really good chance of getting to the back end of Chris James, who is 28.1 seconds back off of our leader at this point. No, he's 42.3 seconds back. So he's definitely going to be able to catch Brett Kingcott. That is for sure.
Oh, certainly. Kingcott's next victim.
Yeah.
Kingcott, of course.
Brett Kingcott is 1 minute and 12 seconds off the back end of our leader, and our leader is turning 1 minute and 27 seconds a lap around here. That's really hard to say that you actually turn in a minute lap, but yeah. 1 minute 27 seconds, 0.5. Richard Lucky was his last lap. And Brett Kingcott's last lap was 1 minute 29 seconds, 0.8. So almost a full 3 seconds difference. And here comes Richard Lucky once again to put Dustin Musial a 2nd lap down. He will catch Dustin Musial before he catches Kingcott. Eight laps to go.
Steven Sims coming around Patrick Cowgill.
So Steven Sims made it back into the race?
Yes. Steven Sims now will move up inside the top 10 to 9th position.
All right, so he just blinked out completely. He didn't take it down pit road. He was just out. He was just completely off the server there for like 4 laps and actually come back. Wow, that was a long extension of your internet connection disappearing on you.
Actually, show Sims only 1 lap down.
Yeah. But he was gone for 5 laps because I rewound it, quite a bit to see what was going on with Mr. Sims and could not see him for at least a full lap, I know. Richard Lucky to the inside of Musial. Musial giving him plenty of room. And Mr. Lucky has got a really good long straightaway. No traffic in front of him. His next car will be King Cott, who is 1 minute and 15 seconds back.
Oh, approximately 10 seconds away.
Yep. If he's doing 3 seconds a lap, he should catch him. And that's the difference. King Cott 129, Richard Lucky 127. So 2 seconds, a lap.
And the big thing at this course, a driver like Richard Lucky is very smooth through his turns and very kind of even. And other drivers are a little bit more chaotic and harder corners, harder on their tires, harder on their brakes. The tires are wearing a lot worse on the slower cars.
Well, in their defense, 97% of our drivers are not road course drivers. They simply run oval races. Richard Lucky and his brother Chris Lucky, they do a lot of road course racing. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that that's where they did most of their racing was in Indy cars and stuff like that on road courses before coming into this league.
Oh, don't misunderstand. I'm in that 97%. I've raced my fair share of road courses, but I'm no good at it.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat with you, my man. I like to go fast and turn left.
I mean, the reason I know this track as well as I do, this is practically my home track. This one's about an hour, 15, hour and a half away from me.
I guess my home track for a road course now would be the Charlotte Roval. I don't know what it would be other than that one because I just don't do road courses, don't know them, don't keep up with them.
I just mean any track in general. Michigan's about 2 hours from me. This is a little closer.
Speaking of, our next race here is going to be at Michigan International Speedway, ladies and gentlemen. It will not be the road course. It will actually be the oval. And we look forward to seeing that race come June the 8th. 2 miles, 88 laps.
Officially NASCAR's fastest track now.
And then our next broadcast is actually going to be tomorrow night at Kansas City. I will not be racing, gentlemen, so don't worry about me. I don't believe I'm going to be racing. I promised the wife that I would go see her tomorrow in the hospital, so I will not most likely be here tomorrow night. I don't like Kansas anyway. It's not one of my fun tracks. But I did make a statement earlier this afternoon that there are some new drivers that have not been hit by me. So I may need to try to get home early.
Need me to help you work on that list?
No, because see, if you help me, then I still won't be perfect if somebody else hits them. My job is to make sure I hit every driver in this series at least once.
King Cott just hit that curb in turn 1 again and lost it.
Yep, I just seen that. Let's see if we can't rewind it And
It's almost a carbon copy of what he did about 5-6 laps ago.
and again, I don't know why I jumped on Calgill, but let's see if we can't get it from this angle here. Here he comes. That turn 1. You can't hit that curb like that. It will sling you around. Whee! Richard Lucky made it around him after he straightened it up. So, put Kingcott his 1 lap down. That leaves 6 drivers still on the lead lap. Zach Wetstein doing an awesome job here tonight. Started 3rd or 4th. Did he not? Where did he start at?
Wetstein, I got him starting 6 and currently in 6.
Okay. So Mr. Wetstein is doing an awesome job here tonight. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, but he still done gained some points here tonight for sure.
Matter of fact, our top 4 are currently running where they started.
What about Mike Lemon? Where did he start at? 7th.
Lemon
He's
started 7
7th.
and gained a couple spots to the top 5, courtesy of, I think, Springer dropping out.
Right.
But
Well,
for the most part, drivers tonight are running where they started for the very most part. You know, our biggest mover is probably David Wright starting 12 and currently running 9th.
10-4. Well, Wright did go to, like I said, our Indy Series, and he did complete our Indy 250. I was actually thinking about, I have the race, and I was actually thinking about rebroadcasting that race, you know, recording it, broadcasting it, and then uploading it. But that's something I need to talk to JP about. I was actually supposed to broadcast that race, but like I said, you know, with the wife and everything, it was just, I couldn't do it.
I'll tell you what, I was running top 3 and got myself caught speeding on pit road, and that pretty much ruined my evening.
That'll do it. Richard Lucky, across the start-finish line. We have 3 laps to go. Wonder who's going to win this race. It's going to be a close one.
I don't know, Lucky might have enough time to do his burnouts and get done before anybody else gets across the finish line.
Well, he has a 7-second lead over Eric Wolf. J.W. Miller, 19 seconds. So, if he definitely got time to do a couple of donuts before Miller gets there, that's for sure. Awesome job. I said we would be speaking to this gentleman at the end of this race. It was an easy pick for me tonight, I'm not going to lie. Just because I know the Lucky Boys, the brothers, and they are absolutely phenomenal on road courses.
Now, fill me in on the rules, Dave. Does he have to be in the top 20 with a win to qualify for the playoffs?
Well, he's got to have 80% of the races for sure. And if you do, well, yeah, I think that's right. You've got to have 80% of the races no matter what. But if you have 80% of the races and don't have a win, then it's the top 20. You would have to actually speak to James Pandolf about that one as far as for clarification.
I think you've got to be inside the top 20, even if you have a win, and the 80%, of course. Now, it'll probably all be moot because with the win tonight, Richard Lucky will probably move into the top 20. He's 22 right now.
No, if you have a win, you are locked in as long as you complete the 80%. You have to complete the 80%. If you're 30th in points and still have a win, you're locked into the championship playoffs. That's what the win is for. But Any driver who doesn't have a win and has 80% has to be in the top 20 in order to compete into the championship. That's my understanding of the rule. So as long as you complete 80% of the races and are in the top 20, you are eligible for the playoffs, if
Yeah,
I'm not mistaken.
with only 12 drivers making the playoffs, that just seems like the 20 seems too many for, no wins.
Okay. Well, I didn't realize it
Follow
was
that
12
follow that
drivers,
logic?
so yeah, I didn't realize it was 12 drivers. I don't know. I actually had to get some clarification on that, but I do know that if you have a win, you're locked in as long as you complete the 80% of the races. That much I do know. So last lap, Lucky still pulling away off of Eric Wolf and J.W. Miller. He could pretty much ride around here at 45 mile an hour and complete this race and still not run a chance at losing it. So our winner tonight will be most likely Richard Lucky, unless he downshifts too hard or wrecks it.
We do have a battle between Chris James and Mike Lemon for the 4th spot.
Well, let's watch that then. But that's not much of a battle.
It's closer than anything else on the track.
This is true. So let me go ahead and pull this up before my screen locks up. And the race is over. These gentlemen are... Richard Lucky is our winner. Followed by Eric Wolf, J.W. Miller, Chris James, Mike Lemon, Zach Wetstein, and Brett Kingcott. Steven Sims makes it up into the top 8. Way to go, Steven Sims. David Wright, 9th, and Taylor Butcher Benjamin, 10th. Patrick Galgill, 11th. Matt Burgess, 12th. Dustin Musial, 13th. And Mike Springer, 14th. James Pandolf, 15th. And Jordan Berry, 16th. And it looks like Richard Lucky's going to ride all the way around. Looks like everybody's going to ride all the way around. Ooh! All right, top 3 drivers. Where is my top 3 drivers? Let's see if we can't get... Well, we're going to let them ride around real quick. Again, ladies and gentlemen, before this thing locks up on me, join us tomorrow night for Kansas City. Your next broadcast here for this series is going to be Michigan. And we look forward to broadcasting those races.
Yeah, congrats to these guys. Caution-free race.
Oh, well, the cautions wasn't turned on.
I know.
Still, it was still a caution-free race. I don't believe we had any really incident that would have actually brought one out, though. Maybe a section of the track would have cautioned up, but for the most part, yeah. Richard Lucky does an awesome job. I don't believe he's going to do too many more burnouts, so...
It's hard. It's really hard to do a burnout at this track. It's not quite wide enough.
Let's see. Let's start with J.W. Miller real quick and see if we can't get him. Where did I just see? I just seen him.
Dysfunctional Patriots.
Yeah. Way down here. Yeah, there it is. No, he's in a team racing chat. Wow. Are you kidding me with that? I can't get my my chat to work. Hang on. J.W. Miller, you got a copy, my man?
Yes, sir.
Well, talk us about that race there, man.
Well, man, that is a workout. That's for sure. These cars are all over the place when it comes to getting on the gas and getting on the brakes. And oh man, I'm happy to come away with a third place there. We were able to hang with them with brand new tires, but they were just so good, both Richard and Eric, at saving the tires compared to me. That by the time that we got to the end of the run, that I was just losing about half a second to a second every lap. So
Well,
other than that, we had a lot of fun.
do you think getting into the back end of Richard Lucky with causing all that damage to the front end of your car had anything to play in on it?
I think I only had like 7 seconds or so. So
Wow.
no, it didn't really change how the car felt at all. No, it was just a little tap.
It don't look like a little tap from our view, but yeah. It looks kind of boogered up on the front end of your car, man, to be honest with you. But you did an awesome job out there. Going to gain quite a bit here in the points. Looking forward to going into Michigan next week.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna help with the points. Definitely looking forward to other road course races to kind of help us out with that. And yeah, we already got our win, so we were just kind of riding around for points today. So good result.
Yes, it was. You got anything for him, Mr. Fasanal?
That was my question. Is since you've already got a win, did it change how you approach this race at all?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Obviously, I'm gonna go for the win every time, but I knew from practice and everything that I wasn't gonna be able to keep up with those guys because, I mean, uh, they're just the definition of smooth, especially Mr. Lucky. You know, those guys are there's so much more wiggle room with these cars compared with the guys that are super talented and the guys that are pretty average. As compared with uh, anything else. There's no assist or
I
anything on these
certainly
cars.
wouldn't throw
So.
yourself in that super average category.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. You did an awesome
Well,
job
I
here
like to
tonight.
think of myself maybe above average. Getting there. Getting used to driving this car and really enjoying racing around all these guys. Everybody racing Euro Queens, so that's
Well,
always nice.
I say it every race, my man. You know them words. Shout outs. Get them in, get them out. I know you got them.
Yeah, shout out to you guys as always for broadcasting the races. Shout out to Team Race Chat Racing, Bogski.
Okay. Where would you like me to put you back at, Mr. Miller?
I can put myself out there.
Alrighty. Well, you have a great evening. Congratulations on your top 3.
You too, thanks.
Our next driver we're going to pop in this booth is going to be Eric Wolf. So, Mr. Wolf, you got a copy, my man?
Yes, sir.
What happened out there, my man? I thought you was going to win it at the start of this race.
Yeah, Richard Lucky spanked us all. That's what happened.
Well, you kind of knew that coming into this race about them Lucky brothers, did you not?
I knew that. Saw it in practice. I saw his lap times. I figured he was sandbagging. He queued on pole, and I know how good they are on the long runs too. So I was just really hoping to get second place. And whenever I saw the start that I got, and I guess he was just bottlenecked up a little bit on that inside there, I was able to beat him going down that front straightaway into turn 1. And I thought, oh, maybe I might get a bonus point for leading a lap out of this. And I was able to do that. So basically a win as far as I'm concerned for myself.
Well, he actually got tapped in the back end by J.W. Miller at the beginning of that race.
Yeah, he was good going down on the 1, though. He gave me a lot of room. I thought he was going to pack it down in there, but he gave me plenty of room, so I appreciate that. And I was able to lead a lap and then just bring it home second place, not make any mistakes. First 6 laps were pretty sketchy for me. But after that, kind of settled into a groove, and I was able to minimize mistakes and just run to my abilities, which were nowhere near his.
Well, I mean, you still did an awesome job here. Do you think you're still going to be able to make the 80% of the races to compete in our championship this year?
I think I can.
Okay. Well, since that question is answered, what are your thoughts and concerns of going into Michigan this week or next week?
I have no testing at Michigan, so I have no idea what the track's even going to be like. So it'll just be about uh, trying to finish in the top five, really, for me. We'll see what happens after that. I'm
Got
sure tire management will
one
be
word
key.
for Michigan: fast.
Yeah, good. Good. I like those big ovals, so it should be a fun race. I enjoyed those.
Well, Mr. Wolf, I say it every race. Shout outs, man. Get them in, get them out. I know you got them.
All right. Yeah. Thank you to you and Rob for putting on the broadcasts. Like I said, it's a really cool part of this league, going back and watching the broadcasts. And thank JP for the work he does to manage this league and put on these races. And then my DPR teammates, always great info that they can give us. Just good racing with those guys, good fun. And finally, the guys out here on track, they were real respectful, gave us a lot of room. So I appreciate that. That's it for me.
All righty, Mr. Wolf. We'll look forward to seeing you back here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
All right, sounds good. You guys have a good night.
You too.
Thanks, Eric.
I know where he goes. So, well, he's done moved himself. Wow. Okay. We'll move Mr. Lucky up into this role here. Mr. Lucky, my man. I said I'd be talking to you at the end of this race. You know I picked you for the win, right?
Yeah, I know you did, David.
All right. Well, walk us through that phenomenal scrunch up, close finish that you had there.
That's a nail biter, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't know who was going to win it.
Well, believe it, Eric was pretty quick. He kept me honest. He got off to a really good start and was flying. That first lap, I think he would have beat me to turn one anyway, but I was just trying to take it easy because he's in it for points and I'm not. I wanted to give him that respect. But, yeah, just had a good run. Just tried to keep the tires on all night.
So that's right. You're not going to be able to make the 80%, are you?
No, I'm going to try to start showing up a little bit more. Just things have been real busy, but I'll be here when I can. But I don't think I'm going to meet the 80% to get into the championship stuff.
That's what we were discussing here earlier, whether or not what the rules were with that. But still, you did an awesome job. Would like to have seen your brother out here tonight as well. I know y'all two boys are really good at road courses. So, again, walk us through your race. I mean, I know you just went out and simply led the race, but was there any close calls that you felt that might have ruined your race there?
Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't let up all race. I drove hard the entire time. When you're driving that hard, one missed shift or you run it in just a little bit too hard, it'll start to wheel hop on you. And I'm pretty hard on the downshifts and stuff too. So just ran it real hard, just trying to win by as much as I could, to be honest with you. And there were a lot of laps there where Eric ran the exact same lap time I did. So if he could have just maybe smoothed out some of his smaller mistakes, it would have, meant a lot there at the end.
Well, like I said, you did an awesome job here tonight. Mr. Faustino, what you got for this man? I know you got something for him.
Yeah, I just, a comment on the clinic you just put on for everybody, and the what really impressed me about your run was how smooth you were, especially a lot of the off camber spots of this track. The carousel in turn 2 and the S's on the backstretch are very off camber, and we saw several cars just flat out lose it in those areas, and it didn't seem to affect you at all.
I was close a couple times to losing it, but yeah, the trick to this place is just don't overdrive the front of the car. Let it really, turn in and roll the center before you start getting in the throttle.
I bet there's about 15 other drivers would have liked to known that headed into this race. Hint, hint. Well, Mr. Lucky, congratulations on your win. You get your shout-outs in? Did I say that to you yet? No, shout-outs in. Get them in, get them out. I know you got them.
Just a shout-out to you guys for doing the broadcast and the interviews and everything, and a shout-out to JP and everybody at DRL that puts an effort to put the league on. I'm going to start trying to run a little bit more, and congrats to Eric on second and JW Miller on third. They had a pretty decent pace, and nice to see them get good finishes.
Well, with that being said, we look forward to seeing you back here next week if you can make it.
Yeah, we'll see, David.
All right, Lucky. Have a good evening now.
Yep, you too. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Okay, well, let's see if this is going to actually work for me. I don't know if it's going to or not. It looks like it actually might. Hey, look at that. I got some unofficial results working here tonight. Our Mid-Ohio unofficial results is Richard Lucky comes home with 33 laps led. Eric Wolf second, 4 laps led. J.W. Miller, he gets a lap led in as well. Chris James, 4th. Mike Lemon, 5th. Wetstein, Zach, 6th. Brent Kingcock, 7th. Steven Sims, 8th. David Wright, 9th. And Taylor Butcher Benjamin, 10th. Patrick Galgill comes home 11th. Matt Burgess, 12th. Dustin Musial, 13th. Mike Springer, 14th. James Pandolf, 15th. And Jordan Berry rounds out our race in 16th position. As always, since I got it working, want to thank James Pandolf for everything he does for this league, ownership and financial parts of it. Martin Wenzel and Jordan Gonzalez for the graphics department and the technical issues that we have with our software here. Want to thank JP for all the marketing that we get going on with our league and helps out with our sponsorships and stuff. Broadcasters are myself, James Pandolf, and Rod Fossenall. Gotta get your name added to that, Mr. Fossenall. Race controls are James Pandolf and Dakota Wilkins, Mike Springer or Richard Springer. Just about anybody that can show up. We'd like to get somebody permanent for sure for our Grand National Series. For our Truck Series. Taylor Butcher Benjamin has been doing our race control for the Truck Series. We'd like to get him back up in the booth. Administrators are myself, James Pandolf, Getty Butner, Martin Wenzel, myself, David Wellborn Jr. Last little point I want to get on here before I let everybody go is that my wife is still in the hospital. She did suffer a heart attack due to her diabetes and heart disease. She is doing pretty well. She's still not out of the woods yet, but we want to thank you for all your thoughts and prayers and concerns. And with that being said, do you got anything else, Mr. Fossenall, to add to this?
No, just shout out to you, man. I'm sure a lot of us here at DRL are thinking of you and hoping for the best.
Well, we're hoping for the best as well. She's, like I said, she's been there for almost 3 weeks now. It was a pretty bad heart attack she had. They did put stents in. She does have a temporary heart pump in right now. She's still got a lot of fluid built up on her lungs, but other than that, she's hanging in there. So, and she gets a lot of people sending her prayers and stuff through Facebook and through DRL and through a couple other games that we play. So we want to give a big shout out to everybody who has still got us in their thoughts and prayers and concerns. So with that being said, I believe I'm going to call tonight, Mr. Fossenall. You going to be here next week with me?
Absolutely. Can't keep me away at this point.
All right. We'll see you back here, ladies and gentlemen, next week. Same bat time, same bat channel for the Grand National Series. Be sure and join in tomorrow night for our Truck Series. It should be pretty awesome. Rod Fossenall said he was going to wreck half the field for me, so tune in and join in and watch that race.
I'll give it my best shot.
I hear you.